What is up, everybody? Welcome to the new player guide for Planetside 2. Planetside 2 is a free-to-play game for PlayStation. It came out on PC in 2012, and in 2018, it was implemented to PlayStation 4. You can play this on PlayStation 5, but it's only available to PlayStation users for any console users out there. So this is just for PlayStation users unless you want to play it on PC. The PlayStation 4 version is a little bit more or a little less features than the PC version, but still most of the features are there. It's a great free-to-play game. The one issue is they've been notorious for not having a very good tutorial and just throwing you right in the middle of everything and you have no clue what's going on. So hopefully this guide can help be a much better tutorial for everything. I'm actually going to split this guide up into multiple videos. This video here is going to be the basics and how you set up your character and kind of get you familiar with what you're actually doing right away. And then if you want, feel free to go into the extra videos to show you how like base capturing works and different aspects of the game that you wouldn't probably learn until you get a lot of repetitions through it, where you probably are really frustrated and don't know what you're doing. So I definitely recommend checking out the next videos. But anyway, once you download the game, you'll be brought to this screen right here. You just want to press X, and obviously it says press X. And then I already have a character, but my character, where you're going to start, you're going to have to create a character. So I just go to manage characters and then create a character. You can actually create up to 4 different characters. I'll explain what that means later. As you can see, 1 through 4 next to my name at the top character list, I can make 4 different characters. So this is where you guys are going to start on, is you're going to figure out, like, choose a faction. Now, this is a game that you want to play with friends. It's so much more fun to play with friends. It's a game where you just team up and try to take out the other team. Every single person on this game, it is all online. Every person. There's no NPCs other than like ones that the ones that are NPCs don't really matter. I'll explain that later. It's not going to affect your play. It's all online players, so it's good to be on the same team with your friends, and it's a fun game to just rule the continents with your friends. But anyway, choose a faction. There are 3 different factions. For now, we're just going to say purple, red, and blue. They have a few minor differences to them. Like, for example, the Terran Republic is got high fire rates with low damage. Probably good if you miss a lot of your shots, or you're not the most accurate. You don't think you're the most accurate. The NC, the New Conglomerate, they have hard-hitting weapons with slower fire rates, and the Vonu Sovereignty have a really nice tank, the Mag Rider, which is a floating tank. You can kind of see it in the background there. Really, none of those are any sort of... They're so minor, I wouldn't even worry about them. It's just that's just how minor they are. Each one has their tank in the background, actually, but they're so minor, don't even worry about it. It doesn't make really any difference in the game. There's a little bit of lore that goes behind each one. Like the Terran Republic, they were the Order. They ran the whole continent before the New Conglomerate decided to rebel against them. These are just kind of like the rebels against the Terran Republic. The Vonu Sovereignty came in and were like, we're just going to beat everybody with technology. That's kind of like the very basic general information for each one. And you can take that information how you want. You'll see there's this other one here that is called NS Operatives. So these ones are a special class. This allows you to be whatever the lowest populated empire is on the continent. I wouldn't recommend this starting out. Also, you can't do this unless your character is of a battle rank 20. So we're gonna not worry about them to keep things simple. You probably wouldn't want, like, until you get more familiar with the game, you probably wouldn't even want to deal with NS Operatives. That's not even actually a faction. You're just playing on the other teams. But anyway, For this tutorial, we're going to take the Terran Republic. This is where usually most people would want to play. So for this tutorial, we're going to take the Terran Republic. And then recommended servers. Genudyne. So this is the PlayStation North American server. So when you play the game on PC, it's going to be a different server. So this is how they separate PC players and PlayStation players. So when you see Genudyne here, this is the North American PlayStation server. They also have a server for the Europe, and I think that also covers the rest of the world server for this game. So if you have a friend who is in North America and you have a friend that is in Europe, they cannot play with each other. There is a somehow of a way, I think, to get it to work, but I wouldn't recommend it. I've tried looking at it and it looked kind of difficult. So unless you want to put yourself through all that stress, if you have somebody that is not on your real life continent, then I would not recommend. But I think maybe Australia and Europe, they might be able to. I'm not sure how that works. I am North America, so I've only been on Genudyne for my server. So just to get that out of the way before anybody gets any frustrations. So I'm going to pick Genudyne. You get to choose your gender. You can be a male or a female. Don't worry, whatever you choose, there's going to be a terrible actual like character creation. I'm going to choose male. You get a choice of 4 heads. If I choose female, I get a choice of 4 heads. That's all you get. This is the only personalization for your actual guy. So I'll just take the main one. And then you enter your character name. So I'm going to make it... might as well. Woody Wilson. Might as well just throw a YouTube in there. Woody Wilson YouTube. Oh, it's an invalid name. Oh, that's profane? What? Maybe they didn't like the YT. Okay. Maybe I need to put a... So they have a few requirements too when you're actually making your name. How about I just take the spaces out? Okay. All right. We'll make him Woody Wilson. So this your player name. It's what's going to be displayed above your head. You'll still be able to see your actual online ID, your PlayStation name. You'll be able to see that, but it's going to be a lot harder. This is what's going to be displaying to people. So this is going to be the main one that's going to be displaying to people where they first see your name. They'd have to look for your PSN name. You can name it whatever you want. If it goes through the filter, yep, nothing special about it. That's just what people will see you as. So whatever you would like. So we'll take that, we'll select, and we're going to get launched right into the Sanctuary. Okay, starting out, you'll be in the Sanctuary. There's no combat or anything in the Sanctuary. I mean, you can shoot your guns, but you're not going to damage anybody. That's pretty much it. It's just this giant spaceship that everybody starts in. And other people just kind of move around. You can see other people on your team. I am the red team. So there's other people on other teams. Like, for example, this one looks like that is a Vanu. So there's a Vanu logo on it. And so that would be the purple guys. But you'll be able to see because anybody on your team will have a logo above their head. And yes, but basically what you want to do, the only reason to really be in here is to just get to the Warpgate. So you want to look for one of these things that says Warpgate, or they have that little icon. If I don't aim, you'll see that icon pop up, the globe icon. You'll see this. There's going to be other ones around here. There's other things in here, but I don't want to explain that until we get out of the Sanctuary because you can't really use them. But anyway, you want to look for one of these, and they're on your mini map in the bottom left-hand corner. If you see on my screen, there's multiple of those globe icons. This is where you can warp continents. Warp gates, their only use is to warp continents. So if you hold square to interact, now we get the whole map. I'm going to quick explain which each part of the map is, and it looks like they took out Colt here. So anyway, the Sanctuary, it's up here. These 4 areas are the 4 areas of where everybody plays. This is where your game is. Esamir, Amerish, Indar, and Hassan. Indar was the very first map, followed by Esamir, then Amerish, and then Hassan. There's even one more on PC, but that is going to probably be rolled out in a few months. So anyway, Indar is a desert continent. All these are called continents, by the way. This is basically the world of Auraxis, the whole thing here. So this continent is a desert continent. It's very bright, so it's easy to see people. It's probably the best map to learn the game on because it's super bright. Everybody can see each other. Esamir is the winter map. Everything is always covered in snow. I'm not going to say too much there. It's all very white. And then Amerish is the forest, and this one could be a little bit difficult to see sometimes. And Hassan is very difficult to see at night. This is the jungle biome. And yes, that's all I really want to say. They have these locks on them, which means these continents are locked until this continent, which is the only one unlocked, has been taken over. So you wouldn't be able to get onto these other continents until they unlock once this one locks. So this other thing up here, this is VR training. It's basically just a sandbox. It doesn't actually train you. Cold tier I don't know if they took it out or not, but cold tier was basically like the startup continent, which is a very tiny like island pretty much, and it was decent, but I'm just going to explain how it's not going to really compare to when you go onto one of these actual continents. So when you come to the Warpgate, you just want to warp to whatever one is unlocked. In this case, it is Indar. So once you highlight it, you can press X to warp, as it shows in the bottom of the screen. And then we're going to load into Indar. So I'm going to do a quick, basic look through your controls. There's a lot of stuff that is going on right now. Don't worry, I will explain that. It just takes a little bit of time. And you'll get this. You'll be pros at this game in no time. So anyway, we are here on Indar at the Warpgate terminal. We have a lot of things like, for example, we have Warpgate or Warp. I forgot what they were called. The things that you can change continents with, the globe icons. We have them right here. This is the only place where you're going to find the globe icons. But you can also warp in the pause menu too if you prefer. But the pause menu is a little glitchy, so we're going to wait on that. Well, we are going to go into the pause menu real quick. So anyway, I'm going to open up the pause menu with the options button. The pause menu looks like this. What I want everyone to do first is I want you guys to go straight down to settings, not log out, to settings. Before doing settings, come back to the main screen, go to the map. So if you look at the map, you can zoom in and zoom out with L2 and R2. As you can see, there's an L2 and R2 on the very left-hand top part of the screen, and it comes in and out. That's kind of your zoom. You have 4 different zoom levels. Your 4th zoom level is completely the whole world. This is like the whole map. Then you've got like the region map, and then you're like right on top of your person, or right on the base. So anyway, the reason I have you guys looking at this is the whole map of the whole continent. Your map should look like this, and the reason I wanted to go into settings is because some people, for example, if you chose TR, they are the red team, and some people, they automatically are set to this block. Our red block is blue, and both of these blocks, which are your enemies, are red, which is very difficult if you are actually red. So your guys are red, but they show blue markers above their head, and you're like, wait, there's blue guys that we have to fire at, but they're red, and like it's all backwards. So the way to fix that, I'm actually going to show you what it does when gameplay. They are set to red, and the TR was set to blue because TR is our team. So if I apply that, this is what a lot of people's maps look like when they start. Like, this is not right because we are the red team. Everything should be red for us, not blue, and the other teams are red. It's backwards. So some people, it will look like this when you start. So if it doesn't show your colors red, the other color is blue and the other one's purple, then what I want you guys to do is you come into settings, you go over to gameplay, and then you just need to change these colors, all of the colors, and then hit apply. And then you are going to come back and change each color. So the Vanu Sovereignty, VS, this is purple, so let's find the purple color. There's purple. And we're going to find the NC, which is blue. Where's the blue color? I don't actually know which one is the right blue, but it's blue. TR is red. So we're going to find the red color, and then we're going to have that be red. Okay, so now that they are all set to their colors, there is a button square at the bottom that says apply. Make sure you apply them. Press square and apply them, and now they will update on your map. So when you go back to the map, now I think I made the NC a little bit dark. I'm going to lighten them up a little bit. That looks a little different. But anyway, then you have all the colors and everything makes sense. This is a very important step if you have this issue, because you will be very confused the rest of the game if you don't figure that out. So I just lightened up NC real quick. The other easy way to get to the map is without being in the pause menu. If you just press the touchpad, you get to the map too. So don't even worry about going all the way down to that. You can just press the touchpad to get to the map. Very easy. So we have all three of our people. If we have a red, that means we're doing good. If we have a blue, that means they're taking our base. I'm going to get into all of that extra stuff in about 5 minutes. I'm just going to quickly go over a brief introduction of what each of these mean. So what we have here is this is an equipment terminal. It is, as you can see, equipment terminal. It's got a gun logo on top of it. And this is how you change your class. So if I go and interact with this, right now it'll set you on what class you already are, which is a light assault. Light assault has a jetpack. You can it's more of like a jump pack. You can just like jump a little bit higher, and it's a little bit of a jetpack. So that's nice for this one. They have like a rocket rifle. Each one has their own specific items for each one. If you press L1 and R1, you can switch between classes. You won't be able to have certain classes until you get to certain battle ranks. So locked till battle rank 3, the infiltrator. And the infiltrator is the sniper class. So if you like sniping, infiltrator is your class for you. You just need to get to battle rank 3. It should be pretty easy. Just go on ahead and going at some stuff. It should be pretty easy. But the other good thing about infiltrators is they can hack these equipment terminals or vehicle terminals, which we'll get into in a second, and turn them to your side, so then you can use them if they're not yours. I'll explain what that means in a second. But Combat Medic, this is probably the best one to start out as. You can heal people with your medical applicator, and you get a lot of points. So you'll rank up very fast with a Combat Medic. It's a Combat Medic, so 1, you're good at combat, and 2, you can heal people and get a lot of points for healing people. So you can heal people, you can revive people. It's awesome. You get a lot of points, especially if you're in big battles. The other one, this one's locked at battle rank 5, is an engineer. This is the one that I'm usually a class of, and you have decent weapons, but you have an ability to repair anybody's vehicles on your team, and you just keep getting constant points as you're repairing the vehicles. It's very useful, and you get a lot of points for it. So this is probably the next best class to get a lot of points. You can also repair max suits, which we're going to get to in a second here. So the next one is heavy assaults. This one has a rocket launcher, and will help against a lot of the vehicles in it. The vehicles have a lot of health in this, so it takes a lot of rocket launcher shots. So don't feel bad if your rocket launcher doesn't seem to be doing much. It is. It's just used to having like 5 people on your team firing at the tank at once, kind of as a cohesive unit, and then it goes down pretty quick. So don't feel bad, but you do have a heavy assault, so you can cause some damage to some vehicles if you wanted to. The last one is the Max. The Max is basically a giant tank. It's a walking robot, like I'm thinking like that giant Iron Man suit from like one of the Iron Man movies. This is kind of what it is. You basically have to start off with, you have a giant chain gun on one of your arms, and you have I think this is like a grenade launcher almost. So this is just basically a giant death machine, and you guys would love this class. It is basically, and it has a lot of health too. So it is like what you send in to go and just cause chaos in a whole group of people. They can't stand a chance. They have a lot of stuff they have to, it's a lot to take one of these down, but it also costs points. As you can see, right next to my name, Woody Wilson, number 1, red thing on the top right. If you look just slightly down and all the way to the right-hand side of the screen, you see spawn cost 450. Now that is a lot of spawn costs. You only have up to 750, which that number is listed right above spawn cost, 750. That is how much you get in total, and that number regenerates up to 750 over time. But just watch that number 750, because that's what you use to spawn vehicles or max suits. So if you don't have the amount, the spawn costs or the stuff for it, you won't be able to spawn it until you replenish it over time. But anyway, that's maxes. Again, they can be repaired with engineers and revived with medics. So obviously getting revived as a max suit is very helpful, because it costs money, or not money, but whatever that is, that replenishes over time to use it. You can't always spawn as it, which is understandable because they're crazy. So those are all the classes. I'm going to take the combat medic because that's the best one to get a lot of certs. Certs are the in-game currency. I have 0 right now. It's on the very, very bottom left-hand corner below the mini-map, that orange octagonish like shape thing next to the 750 on the bottom of that mini map in the corner. I have 0. You'll get a lot of them very quickly over time. So this is actually, once we left this base here, this is actually the Warpgate. It's covered by a whole shield. No teams can shoot inside of it. You are completely safe in here. And I don't even think there's friendly fire in the Warpgate. I'm pretty sure there's not. So there is friendly fire outside of it. I'm going to quick go over the rest of these terminals, and then I'm going to show you guys some battles. But since we did the vehicle terminals, I'm going to stop this video here, and we're already at 23 minutes, so I'm going to stop this video here, and then I'm going to continue with part 2 of the vehicle terminals, the aircraft terminals, and base capture in the next one. So feel free to tune into that one, and hopefully you guys have been able to get a lot from the information provided here. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.